I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know exactly what.
My heart rate was just above 30.
I also learned that we're human.
It wasn't sadness for me.
But this was also the very first day
Overwhelming sense
that I was anorexic.
I'm depressed or I'm anxious.
is as a slow
We
creep.
have everything put together.
a
and
vicious
It was
that's
cycle.
affecting me
true.
physically too.
I did
that I'm
not feel
having a
normal.
crappy day.
I knew I had a problem.
When we had this event a year ago, it was really an intergenerational conversation around mental health. But after that event, we realized that the youth component, the young adult component, was something that we really needed to do a deeper dive into and explore some of the issues with the young adult population. So over the past year, because of that one event, the youth committee, what we call the Changing Tides crew, has really dedicated themselves to really doing a lot of outreach to raise awareness about mental health issues in the Japanese American community and the Asian American community.
Tonight we will be sharing a broad range of perspectives and experiences as they relate to mental health within our community. You will be hearing from CT supporter Alan Hino, our very own Moet Kudakata, and Dr. Koko Nishi, Outreach Coordinator for Counseling and Psychological Services at San Diego State University.
I am what most would consider a typical Japanese American, but I'm here today because I want to share my story with the hope that it resonates with someone here today.
I can't pinpoint what exactly led to it, but I started cutting back my food intake, regretting whatever food I did eat, and running after every shift.
After years of denial, I was clinically diagnosed with severe depression about 10 years ago.
I started lying about food by telling people that I was full, even though I wasn't, and I quickly lost my hunger cues. But this was also the very first day that I admitted to myself that I was anorexic.
To be in a space where our community is gathered to talk about what's really going on within the mental health of ourselves.
I was getting thinner.
I was scared to seek out help.
I was extremely cold to the bone all the time.
I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know exactly what.
I knew I had a problem, but I didn't know what was wrong with me.
I also learned that we're human. We're not meant to keep all of our emotions inside. It's not always a good thing to internalize what we're struggling with. It's not always helpful for us to gaman. Loosely translates to suck it up, right? Endure.
I was constantly being told that I needed to man up, to toughen up, and to stop being a sissy.
I was lost and isolated because I was so preoccupied with food and counting calories that I couldn't be present in any conversation, and yet I managed to hide all of it.
And so I hid my depression in plain sight, and I was able to fool those closest to me.
I can say that I painted some of my best artwork to this day during this time when I was struggling the most.
In general, Asian Americans report fewer mental health conditions than their white counterparts. However, they are more likely to consider and attempt suicide for the age ranges of 15 to 24, so the youth that you were talking about, and for Asian American females who are 65 and older.
The best way I can describe my depression is as a slow creep and a vicious cycle.
Taking care of mental health is hard.
People always assume that I was sad when I tell them I suffer from depression.
After so many months of hurting myself, that there was finally an adult that could help me, and I broke into tears.
I am no longer ashamed that I have depression.
I see very clearly that recovery is neither a straight line nor easy.
And I've met many students that identify as Japanese American, Asian American. And one thing I've noticed a lot of similarities is that we don't actually say, I'm depressed or I'm anxious.
But I have learned that opening up and being honest about my experiences has been the best thing that I have done for myself.
And I learned techniques to combat my negative thoughts. And my therapist helped me accept myself for who I am. My road to recovery was not easy and is an ongoing process. I do my best to not let bad moments turn into bad days. But sometimes I just need to accept the fact that I'm having a crappy day.
Let's give ourselves permission to have bad days because we're human.
I am nowhere near perfect, and I am still learning how to deal with my eating disordered thoughts. But I have gained so much life, love, trust, respect, patience, and capacity from choosing recovery every day. I am honored to be a part of Changing Tides because it not only gives me a platform to share and to create, but also hopefully by doing so, a space for others to see that they are not alone.
If you can't think of anyone that you feel comfortable speaking with, come find me.
I have learned that there is always somebody out there, no matter how far away, that cares about you, believes in you, and wants to help you. Because despite the many ups and downs, recovery is a beautiful journey, and I hope to keep growing with you all in ways that numbers cannot define.
It is okay to embrace and share your emotions.
We want to shift the view that seeking help is actually a courageous thing, not a weakness. Self-care doesn't mean that you're selfish. Self-care means you are taking care of yourself so you can be better. There's a wonderful quote I want to share with you from Linda Poindexter that says, "One small crack doesn't mean that you are broken. It means that you were put to the test and you didn't fall apart."
And my dad was a therapist, Dr. Benoit. And so, you know, when I was struggling with music, I didn't go to college. I mean, if you count El Camino for one semester, that was the extent of my music education. So I moved up to Hollywood and tried my luck at just playing in clubs. My father was pretty resolute not to support me financially unless I went to USC, but that was out. So I was on my own, and therapy was a really important thing for me to get through it. Just to know there was someone that could listen. You know, I felt so lonely, and we were living up in Hollywood. It's a very tough business, as many of you might imagine.